Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today's video is going to be on my switch system for the rear of my truck. I've had several requests. How do you run your fridge? How do you power the fridge and keep everything alive? And how do you get power to the back of the truck? So in today's video, we're going to talk about my control center that I have. I got it from a company called Osfo Drive. They're also known as AEVP. It's a very nice system. I really enjoy it. It's similar to, in the Jeep world or overlanding world, they call it the S-Pod. It's very similar to that. So let's get started. So first thing I'll do is show you my fridge and my Jackery battery system. I prefer to have a second battery that's portable versus in the truck, so I can use it all around camp. I can use it in my house. I can loan it out to a friend. So here's my Dometic 55. We actually used it the other day to pick some fresh blueberries here in Michigan. So absolutely love this thing. This is a 55 model. For family outings and for two, it works well. So then what I do is I run that down here to the Jackery 1000. Input coming in from my cigarette plug. So my cigarette plug for my truck is here. Powers DC to the input. And looks like we're at 79%. And then the fridge is plugged into that. So that's how I go down the road. If I get to a campsite and I don't have power or anything plugged in, all I have to do is make the break here, and this will not drain my battery down. And I can charge the Jackery going down the road and keep it fully charged. It's usually around 100%. Been using it lately, and we're all ready to go. So basically, here's the layout of the control center. Here's your components. These are all the parts that you get. Heavy duty 60 amp fuse that will go up to 60 amps. You got the little control box. You get a whole bunch of switches, the stickers. So you've got all different kinds of things that you can label all the switches. There's just a ton of different ones there. You get the instruction guide, and they basically walk you through how to mount the box onto the backing plate. And then they run through the whole process, very well laid out, how everything should be hooked up. So we start right there, got the 60 amp breaker in place. This just feeds power to the back of the truck. I chose not to use the backing plate. I just screwed it directly to the truck. The inside of my bed is lined with carpet. This big yellow is my power coming in, feeds the whole board. Then I've got my main ground coming in, feeds the main ground to everything. You see here, as you go down the line, you just see your amperage. You pick out which switch you want. Some of the switches are rated for different amperage. Fuses are all here, easy to change. And you just basically take your black and your red and put them in each side, positive and negative. This little cover goes over the whole top of the whole thing. So it keeps it nice, weatherproof, no chance of getting anything wet. And then you have a really long cord that runs from there. I just tucked it behind all of my carpet, and I put a piece of Velcro on the back of this control center, and that's it. You literally just stick it on. It's got nice ears here, so you could screw it to a dash. There's a little bracket, so if you want to put it underneath your dash, it would really work well there. This could be mounted under your hood without an issue, but for me, getting power back here, having a fuse box was pretty handy. And when I started thinking about just getting like a Blue Sea fuse box, something like this was more practical because it comes with a control center. Now I can control all these different things, and I've got a few more ideas of lights I want to add back here. So I'll start to fill up the rest of these. You've got your on-off power, so I can toggle everything on and off. All the switches can be alive or all the switches can be dead. That's optional. So I can easily just push this. If I've got these preset and turned on, like I do now, the little red LED comes on and illuminates, and I know I've got power to that accessory, that item. So I've got right and side, or rear and side. I wish they would have had a left and a right for the sticker layout. They didn't. So I basically have left side rail, right side rail. Easy to remember. And this controls my rail lights, which are these guys here. Extremely bright rail lights. It illuminates all my gear inside of my truck. I absolutely love these things. They're one of the best things I've ever bought. If you've seen any of my hiker videos, I'm a huge fan of these light sticks. They come on an aluminum back and they're extremely bright. It's probably blowing out my camera right now. To the fridge, which basically, I labeled it fridge, but it's just this 12 volt plug. So that way I know which one that is. It's the 12 volt accessory plug back here. So the nice thing about doing this versus a direct wire is if I want to quickly pull this out, I can, and I can run 12 volt to, like, I've got a 12 volt to 4 USBs. Now I've got USBs back here. And this thing's super thin. It's super thin. It's a small little control center. It's got a wire chase runway in here. It's got a plate that goes over top to keep the wire flush so that you don't have an issue from the top. You can kind of see that there. So from bottom to top, I got a couple of 5 amps, a couple 10s, a couple 20s, and then we go up to the 30s at the top. So you've got every protection level you would need. In the cover here, they provide a nice little fuse puller and a full set of fuses. So one thing that you can do, not only will these individual switches glow red when you turn them on and off, if you have them all off, you can have them all glow green. I don't have that feature enabled right now. I didn't want the extra power draw on the back of the truck. I wanted it to be off all the time. It's not hard in the dark for me to come back here. If I need to get back here in the dark, and just hit this to turn this all on or turn this off. So here's a shot with the glow of the switches on. You can choose to have those on. You just take this white wire here and you tap it to power. And every time you do that, it does a different adjustment level for the brightness of the backlight. Now, I'm telling you, these things are extremely bright. If you choose to leave them on all the time, unless you wire it key on, key off, which I chose not to do back here because I want to be able to run the fridge, whether the key is on or the key's off, you are going to be, these things are going to be bright. I think it's annoyingly bright on the very high setting. I do not think you would want it in your control center this way. Let me turn these off. So it's hard to tell, it's daylight, but these are extremely bright. Let me see if I can tap this wire and change these a little bit. You got like 5 settings. There's another setting, 2, 3, back bright again. So each switch has 3 different modes. You basically can cycle through the modes and you set each individual switch to what you want. So the first mode is just on and off. That's the default mode. You just press the switch and it turns the light on, turns the light off. The second mode is a momentary switch. So I have programmed one of these just to show you. I just take this, press it, and you can see the light over there, on, off. I hold it down, it's on. I let go, it's off. So the third mode is what they call strobe mode. So I'll kind of demonstrate this. Program this one here, turn that on, got my rail light strobing. Kind of a crazy effect. So don't think I'm going to want this for camping, but if you wanted strobe mode, it's built into here. So if you guys got any questions on this control center, the Jackery, the fridge, any of that, how I wired it up, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. I'll put links to all the products in the description. We will catch you next time and get out and do some camping.